Assalamualaikum. Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube. And hello if you're watching this on let me see, my blog or on Instagram. You can follow me at Miss Jules, MISSJEWLZ. That's my IG handle. Same for my website, missjules.com. So basically, I want to share something with you. A small event took place earlier today, and I took some wisdom from it, and I want to share it with you. So, can you recall like the last time you were, let me see, what's the word, unnecessarily stressed? You were like stressed, but you were not like quite sure why, what caused you to stress. Was it you? Was it like other people, or was it the um, events or scenario causing you to stress? So in any situation which can cause you stress, let me paint you a picture here. Okay, this is a stress inducing scenario. Okay, imagine or try to relate to something which you have been through before. Number one, you were not sure, okay, what is wrong with the situation. Okay, something happened, but at the initial moment you were not sure what is wrong. Number two, you assume in that situation, like how you reacted or what you did was right. Okay, first you're not sure what happened. Second, you assume you did the right thing. And thirdly, you assume that other people, except for you, and other people is basically wrong. Okay, meaning you did the right thing in that situation and other people wrong. And but put yourself in the other person's shoe, for example, right? So given that the other person is also, for example, unaware of what is going on. So basically we have two people who are basically clueless, but you are the only one judging that the other person is not doing the right thing. Then the outcome will be either of the three. Okay, so number one, there will be miscommunication. Person A attacks person B, not attack lah, meaning like there will be miscommunication. And number two, there may be miscommunication and judging. Okay, miscommunication between person A and person B, and perhaps one of this person will be judging the other person. Okay. But the third thing which could happen is that there will be miscommunication, but no judging, at least from person B. Okay, so there's like miscommunication, but person B decides not to judge. So when this person doesn't like judge the other person because whatever happened, person B will feel less stressed because they don't judge. Okay, so what am I trying to get at? Okay, so listen. So if there is miscommunication and also judging, okay, so for example, person A judges and they express to the other person, person B, their dissatisfaction, or put some label or remark on person B, saying like you are incompetent or whatever. Okay, so the person who will feel more stressed is actually person A and not person B, because person B doesn't judge, doesn't hold any grudge, and there must be a reason why, right? So I will tell you why. Because person B accepts that, okay, I don't know what is wrong with the situation. And I can't like say like person A is contributing to the situation, and I should not be judging the person A, because I have not understood the situation, and I am in no position to judge person B, and I am also better off keeping quiet and continue my role as an observer. Okay, because it's not my job, for example, at that point of time to fix the situation or fix the person. Okay, for example, person A might be giving judgmental remarks on person B. Say for example, I am person B. I am in no position to judge her, because especially if I don't know her or him in that matter. Okay, so imagine these are like strangers meeting at the, let me see, in the lift. I mean, like, okay, they are about to enter a elevator, and for example, person B enters first, and stands at the corner of the lift, because the incoming group is a big group. But then both person B and person A, and the group person A is in, they were not aware that, like, for example, the lift door closes like after 1 second. After opening, it will just quickly close after that. So both is not aware. Okay, so but when the lift door closes and like person A and their group have not entered the lift, so person A will think that, like, oh, person B could have, like, press the open door button so that they can enter. But person B, number one, like he or she or myself, didn't know that, oh, this lift, how it runs is that the door closes quite soon, and person B was assuming, not judging, assuming that person A and her or his group would have entered the lift as soon as it opens. But because that didn't happen, meaning like, because for example they were like busy chatting or what, they entered like, okay, about 3 seconds after the lift opened. So yeah, so hence the miscommunication and the judging. But if at least one of the party had known that, okay, the situation is so and they're supposed to act so, then hopefully that scenario I was trying to describe would have not happened. Okay, so it's either like the three ending which I told you just now. There will be like miscommunication and judging, or miscommunication, which is default, will be there, but no judging, at least from the person B point of view. And if scenario C happens, meaning person B doesn't judge or couldn't care less, person B has the upper hand, because person B doesn't like feel stress. I mean, there's nothing to take away from that situation, except that, okay, next time when I am in this lift, and if I'm the first person to enter, and there are incoming people, a big group coming in, I would make sure that I will press that open door button. Or if I am in person A situation, meaning I know that the lift door closes quite quickly, can do three things, either of the three things or all. First, I will go into the lift quickly before the door shuts, or if the door shuts, I will just like you know um use my hand to prevent the lift door from closing, because some lift door they respond, like basically when you touch the sensor thingy they will open back. And I won't be judging the person inside the lift. And thirdly, and I suppose this is the best thing which person A or B can do, is that report to the building management, saying that okay, this door is unsafe because it closes quickly, kind of thing, and the benefit will be not just so that you don't be stressed unnecessarily the next time, but it will save, like, hopefully other people from being stressed. So that knowledge of the issue about the lift um, what was yeah if this person A or person B can share it with the other friends or colleagues who uses that lift frequently, then their friends or colleagues um, would be what's the word, hopefully they will be less susceptible to be in that situation, miscommunication, judging. And basically I was in, like, that kind of situation before. And especially when judging happens, and especially that judging comes from the other person, it tells a lot more about that person than the person B, basically, or me. Because there's a difference between doing and not doing. So for example, like, when in those situations, like, not doing meaning like you stay silent, you don't react, and you try to assess the situation. Okay, so there will be thoughts processes, and you basically don't let the mouth speak before you have gone through that thought process, and it saves you from stress, basically. I mean, at least for you. For the other person, if he or she judges you, and tell you off, like, for example, like, oh, do you think you're the only one who's gonna be in the lift or something like that, then guess who's more stressed, who will be more stressed? Will be person A. So same thing in life, like in any event or scenario, at least try to have an understanding, like, what's wrong with that picture. Don't start to pinpoint, like, oh, I am doing everything right, everyone else is doing it wrong. But what you miss is that you miss to assess the environment or scenario which you are in, which may or may not cause you stress, unnecessary stress. In working relationships, and I don't know, in managing the household or relationship with family and friends, same thing. Sometimes it's just miscommunication. For example, like, and people fight over just miscommunication, and that's not yet to the point of judging. Sometimes you can judge without any miscommunication, because there wasn't like any communication which took place. Then you just like, okay, judge. Or sometimes when you say or when you behave, it shows that you are being judgmental. So yeah, um, so So assess, have an idea of the scenario. So you can assess, and whatever you assess should shape your thought processes, and after that how you should be reacting, behaving, or saying in that scenario. And hopefully, if those proactive steps were taken place, we will tend to be less reactive. And when we are less reactive, hopefully we will be making better decisions, um, and save people from stress, save ourselves from stress. um, in the 21st century, like the time we are living now, like if we are like you know excuse me if I am like over exaggerating or what, we are stressed, we are exposed to stress in many ways: physical, social, environment, um, mental, everything. Like everything is like gives you the stress, but as long as they are manageable, it's fine. It's only those repetitive ones which annoys you every day and like you don't know what to do. So what you can try to do is apply those steps which I just shared. So what was it again? Have an idea or knowledge of what's right or wrong about the situation. Okay. And then you assess, and then that thought process which goes through your mind when you're assessing, use that to shape your behavior, meaning like how you'll be reacting, and take proactive steps, and not reactive, like what happened just now when I was trying to give you that lift scenario. So I hope you get the point of my sharing, and this applies to the smallest of things to the biggest of things. Okay, or I mean like to the most complex of things. Just that it's typical that we don't like to approach complex things because they are complex and they are very complicated. But try to look at it from that perspective, like